But I'm gonna make you affirm. Name character beats Giorno Giovanna. Go.
I mean, what other topic do you do besides crosswords, or is it exclusively crosswords?
I only do crosswords. So name character beats Giorno Giovanna. Go.
Yes, but I don't know why you're trying to make me affirm anything. But I mean, when you say name a character who beats Giorno, are you implying that Giorno like beats all of fiction there? What are you trying to imply?
All I'm implying is that Giorno will not lose a crosswords battle. I mean, Giorno will not lose a crosswords battle.
I mean,
I'm
you can
not.
prove that. I mean, you just made a crazy affirmation that Giorno cannot lose any crosswords battle. Yeah, you can go ahead and at least give the argument for that.
Well, first I asked you to name a character who beats Giorno. You tell me why he beats
I
Giorno.
mean, yeah, I'll get through that, but the entire point was that there was clarification asked upon the interpretation. That interpretation, or at least the interpretation of the question, actually seemed to make it very clear that the question was actually a loaded question in itself because you're affirming something such as the proposition or even just the statement in itself that Giorno does not lose to anybody in crossverse or does not lose any crossverse
Yeah,
battles.
I
I
didn't
mean, so
really.
obviously, you would have to give an argument for that before I even answer the question because I'm calling out the question for being a loaded question.
Wait, are you tracking? Okay, so first I told you to name a character who beats Giorno. Then you go on and ask me, what are you trying to imply here? I'm gonna be truthful with you. I told you I was trying to imply that Giorno was not gonna lose. That's what I was gonna take within this debate. I told
So,
you to first answer whether or not if what you gonna call it to name a character who beats Giorno Giovanna. You yet to answer my question.
I
So
mean,
there's
yeah,
no.
you're an idiot. Okay, so just to be clear, the argument given for why I didn't, or at least the explanation given for why I didn't answer your question, wasn't even actually attacked. You literally just jibber jabbered around it, and then even when we're talking about the question, I've already said it's a loaded question.
You repeat
At
what I
least
said.
it seems I don't have to answer the question because the question itself is already assuming
It wasn't
something,
a
and you
fucking question.
yourself,
It wasn't a
I
question.
literally clarified, and you
It wasn't
yourself
a
said you
question.
were
Dumb,
affirming that Giorno doesn't
dumb
lose
bitch.
to anybody in fiction, idiot. Yeah, I don't know why he was trying to overtalk me, but the entire point wasn't is to say, at least when we're talking about, I don't have mod idiot, but we're literally talking about some type of semantics upon, at least when we say loaded question there, we're just saying that it's a question in which affirms something. So, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't answer the question until the thing affirmed within the question itself is proven. I mean, if I were to say, do you think that Vimo is a monkey because he's black? I mean, obviously, you would ask me to say, or at least you would ask me to prove that Vimo himself is black because at least that's the type of thing that most like coherent and competent people would do in response to a loaded question. I mean, I don't know why I would even answer a loaded question. I mean, you would have to give an argument for that, and please actually respond to the explanation given upon like why I didn't actually answer the question instead of just jibber jabbering and saying, "Well, but I asked this question first." I mean, obviously, idiot, you did, but that doesn't matter. I mean, you can go ahead now. You can let me
There
talk.
was no question, but I guess
There was no question. Are you an idiot?
I said name a character who beats Giorno. There's no question.
Name a
Was asked.
character that. Okay, let's say even if it's not a question, it's still a statement in which you agreed affirm something. So the thing affirmed would have to be proven. Let's say I did track terribly. It wasn't a question. And the statement in itself, I don't even have to answer because there's something affirmed within the statement in itself. I mean, at least it's not even saying that I don't ever have to answer it, but I mean, when you talk about that, I mean, I would obviously need something like I would
Bro,
need the thing affirmed to be proven.
the argument. So if a form of hostile progression leads to an outcome in which Giorno is defeated, it will be reverted to zero. When I say reverted to zero, I'm saying the cause is going to be reverted before any actual effect is produced. We can just say that the effect is going to be Giorno's defeat slash. We can just say this loss in this crossroads battle. You can say that I guess the cause is going to be your character's win con or any form of I guess fucking defeat that will lead to defeat of Giorno. We can just say that a hostile progression is going to be an advancement that's going to be opposing or harming Giorno. Therefore, if the qualification is a hostile progression, if it's a hostile progression, it'll be reverted to zero.
Okay, so just to be clear, the reason why you think Giorno is gonna win is because the ability that resets anything to zero if there's some type of
I
at
never said he.
least
I
what
never.
you're saying is some type of foresight that he loses. I mean,
I
I didn't really track the first part because
never.
you're
I never.
kind of mumbling over when you talk, but I mean, you can
I was.
re-explain it.
I never said he was gonna win. Fucking retard. As I was saying.
Okay, I think you're idiot. When we're literally talking about cross verse battles, at least
I
by
said
verse
all that.
battle wiki,
I said Giorno
bro,
wouldn't lose.
not losing a cross verse battle in verse battle wiki, at least the standard assumptions there is literally just that he wins if he doesn't lose. I mean, unless you can show me something about verse battle wiki, like actually
We
talking
said we
about ties, so it's not a crazy assumption for me to say that
first
he
battle
wins.
with.
But I mean, you can go ahead and agree that that is the ability, or that at least is
So if you're
the
tracking,
ways you're trying to reach the conclusion you're trying to make. I don't know why you keep trying to overtalk me. It's not gonna work. Your mic is terrible. You keep lagging out. I don't know why you're trying to overtalk me. It's not gonna work. But let's
nigga.
go back. I
What the
mean,
fuck, nigga? As I
I
already
would at
said,
least need
nigga,
some
it's not
type of argument for why the
I already
ability
told you,
in
nigga. It's
specific
not
would work
whenever.
on every character in fiction, idiot. I mean,
If
obviously could probably work on people within his verse, but I don't need an argument for why it works on every character within fiction because that's a part of the claim you made.
I already told you that's gonna be the case, nigga. Are you dumb?
Wow. No, no, you didn't. Okay. Just to be clear, what you said was that any attention X of the future or whatever, Giorno will revert it to zero. I mean,
That's
that
not what I
leaves
said.
out a lot of
That's just
factors
not what I said.
because
Your
the
actual fucking
characters. Oh
you
my
can't
gosh,
track.
why
You're
do you keep talking?
you can't track. You're actual fucking retard, nigga. I ain't gonna
I mean, go ahead, restate it then, since you want to restate it so bad. I mean,
lie.
after this, you can mute him, Vimo.
I was gonna restate it, but you can't track. But anyways, I'll just repeat what I said. So if a form of hostile progression leads to an outcome in which the Giorno is defeated, it'll be reverted to zero. When I say reverted to zero, I'm saying the cause is gonna be reverted before any actual effect is produced. So if therefore there's no effect, there's not gonna be no defeat for Giorno. Therefore, Giorno will not lose this battle. Hostile progression is gonna be an advancement that's gonna be what you call opposing or what you want to call it harmful towards Giorno.
All right, so just to be
So
clear, I quite literally said that in smaller words. I don't know if you know what I mean by some type of intention there, but let's say okay, what the hell is Zane talking about? But let's say when you're saying that, I mean, I'm confused on how it contributes to every character within fiction. I mean, obviously, I know that could probably contribute to some characters, but that's a hefty burden for you to say that Giorno seems to not lose at all in any type of crossverse battle. I mean, I don't know how you would justify every character in fiction or anything, not even in specifically fiction, how they would just lose to that instantly. I don't know how it would work on everybody. I mean, yeah, you're explaining that it seems to work. It seems to be a pretty good hacks, but I don't see how. Like, I don't see the justification for that. I mean, that was asked way earlier. I don't know why you're not asking. I mean, I don't know why you're still not answering it. I mean, but yeah, you can unmute him and he can give the argument for that.
nigga, I already told you the qualification is gonna be a hostile progression. If it's gonna qualify for this hostile progression, therefore it's gonna work on a character that qualifies for a hostile progression towards
Oh
Giorno.
my
Already
god. Okay, just to be clear, bro, the grammar you're using there doesn't even actually open it up to every character within fiction. You usually said a character that or that character. That's literally implying some
Oh my
set of
god!
character,
If
not
I said
all
if
characters, idiot.
oh my dumbass, I said if a character qualifies for a hostile progression within the argument, within
Yeah,
the last
if
argument,
a character, okay, that's the entire point. The hypothetical there is if a character. So that means at least there's some
already
type of
cool. As
logically
I said,
possible character, idiots.
oh
I
my
mean,
god, I never.
obviously
Oh
you're
my
trying to
god!
say,
Oh my
okay,
god!
okay, okay.
Oh my god!
Okay,
This
you're saying okay. I think you're retarded, but you're saying if a character does hostile progression or whatever,
my
I
god!
agree. I agree. That's what you're saying. So I mean, when you say if there at least opens up somebody's mind to think that there probably is another character in
Oh
fiction
my god, that's the
that doesn't
entire
have
point
to
for you to
act off a
name a
hostile
character that
progression.
beats Giorno. That's the entire point. I asked you to name a character that beats Giorno Giovanna, right?
Okay, okay. The entire you're an idiot. The entire point was that okay. I'm at least
That
taking it that you
dumbass, you
agree with
asked
that
me
idiot.
if I was
I'm at
focused
least
on.
taking. Okay, can we mute
I
him? Can we
told you I
mute
would
him?
be
Can we mute
defending
him?
Giorno
Can we mute him?
Giovanna with this
Can we
debate.
mute him? Can we mute him? Can we mute him?
A good talking stick, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Go ahead.
Okay, so the entire point, I'm guessing you agree with that because you said you're trying to loop back to the question. But the entire point in the question was that I asked you clarification upon the question or whatever you said, the statement at hand. You literally said, "Oh yeah, the thing that I'm trying to say here is that Giorno does not lose a crossverse battle. That assumes you know every character at least within some type of crossverse scenario, and you think they're gonna win. I mean, you seem pretty lost on that. And then let's say even if that Giorno's ability, I don't even concede that Giorno's ability works like that. I was simply like not even I was stillmanning it. So I would need scans that it works like that. One, and then I would need an argument two for it working on every character within fiction. He can talk.
Okay, if you were tracking, right, you asked me, right, if I was invoking anything there. All I said within the start of the debate was that I'm going to be defending Giorno Giovanna within this debate. I didn't say Giorno Giovanna is going to be soloing fiction or any of the sort, right? So I mean, sure, if you want scans for why it's going to be the case that if a hostile progression leads to, if there's going to be a hostile progression, therefore it will not work on Giorno Giovanna, then sure, I can give you that. I'm going to send you, I guess, the scan like right now.
Hello, hello. Okay, so just just to be clear, for the initial statement, you yourself said that it was. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say, that you didn't invoke anything. I'm not even necessarily. I don't. I mean, I could say you invoke something
Who
because
is that, bro?
when
Hold
I
on.
asked, yeah, I don't know who that is, but I literally asked you. I said, "What are you implying with that statement there?" Before I answered the question as a clarifying question, and you literally said in yourself, "Yeah, I don't think Giorno loses to any cross verse battle." I mean, that's obviously something being affirmed. I literally asked you if you were affirming it. You said, "Yeah." I mean, we can literally ask Mako. He's been here since the start. I'm pretty sure he heard it. Or we can even go through rec. And then even we're talking about some type of like harmful intent. I don't know why. Like I'm still confused on, because it hasn't been justified on why every character has to use some type of harmful event, for example, or has some type of harmful move or action. X, because literally there's characters who can kill you without even thinking about you, without even knowing you. Like Daemon, he reflects you without even actually knowing you're there, without any harmful intent. It actually goes back to like the harmful intent that his opponent shares actually goes back to them. So I'm kind of confused. If we have two people that can do that, I mean, do you just think that wouldn't count as a loss for either of them? I'm confused.
You're already confused. You're already confused. I literally said when you asked me, "Are you invoking anything there?" I said I will be defending Giorno Giovanna within a cross first battle. I just believe he will not lose
Ugh.
character that you name, right? So as I was saying with Daemon, right? Let's say Daemon, the reflection ability, right? This is gonna be hostile progression. I already defined that for you. I don't know why you're switching up my words already. You said some form of harmful intent. Yeah, sure, that can qualify as a hostile progression. That's not entirely what it is, right? But anyways, as I was saying, bro, which one call it? I sent the scans within side chat.
Wait, just to be
Uh,
clear, can you restate that second thing you said? I didn't hear you.
what second thing? Well, okay, I don't
When
want
you
to be a
talked
bitch.
about the harmful intent, I lagged out. What did you say?
All right, no, you good. Okay, so basically, right, with the hostile progression, right, you failed to actually define the entire thing I said. I didn't say it's only harmful intention. It's not like only something that's hurting Giorno. It's also something that's gonna be opposing Giorno, something that's gonna be against Giorno, or it's gonna be conflicting Giorno from I guess fucking not losing this fight, right? So
Okay, yeah. I mean, are you done? I don't want to overtalk you.
yeah, talk. I sent
I
the
mean,
scans by
yeah.
the way.
This the second thing is that the entire point is to say that there's characters who can. I mean, unless you think, I don't know how you like how the system works for somebody determining if they're opposing Giorno. I don't know if Giorno or the person has to know. Like, I don't know the system there. I mean, but at least I mean, I would like some type of like definitive system there that you can at least put in place, because I mean, if the character doesn't know they're there, if Giorno doesn't know they're opposing him or he's opposing them, I mean, because there's characters that are
No, that's
definitely
not how
like
it works.
that.
Works
Okay,
though. That's not
okay, that's why I'm asking you for the system, but I'm trying to finish first. That's why I'm asking you. I'm
all
asking
right.
you if there can be some type of system put in place there to actually determine that. So I'm saying, I mean, there's characters who can definitely be something like abstract. I don't know if you think Giorno can see abstract people or at least sense them,
Okay,
but I mean, we have
that's not.
things like abstract characters, which I don't even see how the
I
ability
already
would work. So I mean, if you give
told
some
you how
type of
it works.
system, then I guess it will work. But and then for the
I've
manga
been
panels, I don't even see how this proves that, at least the definition you were talking about. I mean, I
all
think it
right.
can correlate a little bit, but I don't see the full definition being proven. You
All
could
right,
go ahead.
cool. I'm gonna answer, I guess, the burdens. Okay, so first, right, you say that I think you're confused about the ability. It is not dependent upon Giorno. It's just dependent upon GR. GR is just this stand that is gonna be protecting Giorno, right? So it's I basically its entire motivation is to protect Giorno. GR, right? How it functions is just gonna be this. Let's say your character is ontologically superior with these, I guess, higher properties, right? Right. It's just gonna be the case that I guess if it qualifies, right? This is that's the requirement there. the hostile progression, right? If this qualifies of some sorts as a hostile progression, right, towards Giorno Giovanna, this is going to be reverted to 0 before any effect is produced, right? So let's say, for example, that your character, right, let's say fucking Goku, right, is going to punch Giorno Giovanna in the face, right? And let's say this is where Giorno Giovanna loses the fight, right? Before Goku is even able to, I guess, punch Giorno Giovanna in the face, this is going to be reverted to 0. No actual effect happen within reality, right? So Giorno Giovanna will not lose if this is a qualification for hostile progression. Now I'm going to address the scans. Now, as you said, yes, it has going to have some correlation with hostile progression. As here it says, Giorno Giovanna, I should not allow you time. What am I even saying? Tell him, man, your own death. He's about to, I guess, proceed to harm Giorno. And
Blah,
he's
blah,
going,
blah, blah, blah.
yo, whoever just said that shit, shut the fuck up. Anyways, as I was saying, right, this is
Blah,
going to
blah, blah,
also,
blah, blah.
shut the fuck up. It's also going to be opposing Giorno, right? I haven't moved an inch from where I started. It's reverted. Right here. This is a dream or is this an illusion? No, that's impossible. None but idea Valo should be able to move within a race time. This is what Requiem is. Yes, what you see indeed is reality. Your abilities indeed see the actions that will actually perform. However, you will never arrive at the reality that will occur. So what it's just saying there is that you'll never arrive at a reality in which you defeat Giorno Giovanna. None who stand before me shall ever do so. So let's say someone stands before Giorno Giovanna or GR and tries to actually lead him to some form of defeat within this cross-verse battle, right? This will not occur. This will be reverted to 0. Then, no matter what abilities you may wield, this is Golden Experience Requiem. Not even my master Giovanna knows about this. Its ability to nullify all actions and intentions of the attacker. Furthermore, its offensive power exceeds that of existing stands. So, its ability just to nullify all actions and intentions, right? And this correlates with some form of, I guess, leaving Giorno to some form of a defeat. And yeah, so
Don't you mean adverse realization?
yeah, it's basically some form of like, I guess, negative
Adverse
effect.
realization.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
So
done?
anyway, Paul, what's your contention and what is your
I mean, the first part, I don't even think you answered the abstract question. I mean, you try to answer something along the lines of the abstract question, but even answer the actual abstract characters question. I mean, you'd even answer the question for at
But how do I
least
not?
the system. I mean, you answered at least a little bit about the system. The system doesn't work through Giorno, but it works through his stand or whatever. I mean, but you'd even answer what would happen if. I mean, you can answer right now, or you can restate the answer if I missed. I mean, you'd even actually give an answer to the question of what if there was a fictional character that him and his stand couldn't perceive, whether it's something being abstract below them in dimensionality, above them in
Like,
dimensionality. I
you
mean,
would still have to prove that that character even exists. I mean, it doesn't really matter if this character doesn't exist. I don't really care for that. But if
that's the only thing I want to sign off on. So if their characters, if these two characters in the scans can't perceive that character, then it seems to be the case that that character would be good off this entire little system hacks.
I think GR is able to perceive all form of hostile progression. Even like for example, GR is able to perceive this, I guess, hostile progression in some form. There's this villain called Diablo, right? He's able to move within time erasure. Time erasure just he erases all of time, right? Which allows him to skip through it. So he erases time, and he's about to punch GR and Giorno Giovanna, and GR is still able to react within this erased time where time doesn't exist, and he reverses Diavolo's actions to 0. The
Yeah.
hypothetical, the what if, I don't really care for that. As I said, I told you the name of character is Giorno Giovanna. If you cannot, if
Okay,
you
okay, 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 okay.
matter.
Just to be clear for the, I don't even see how the argument actually follows up to the conclusion. At least the premises, I don't see how you say, oh, because he's skipping time, he's like he would be able to see all forms of hostile progression, or that's something we would assume. I don't even see how you would get any type of thing to assume or even cash out the conclusion at hand.
I just
I
think it's more
mean,
probable. I just think
obviously you think it's more probable. I don't see why. I don't see the argument in favor of that. I mean, obviously we see him handle some type of harmful intent, but I mean that doesn't actually lead to the conclusion. I mean, you think it does. I completely agree. You think it
Well,
does.
it's
Was
all
then you do. But okay,
if
I'm
you're
gonna
right.
I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking because I don't know why you're trying to overtalk me. I didn't
Okay.
even get close
I
to
was just
finish.
trying to
But
clarify.
You nigga muted me, bro.
when
I was just trying to
but
clarify something you said, but I guess
okay, so when we're talking about at least the harmful intent there, all harmful intent, I will need some type of like semantics cashed out on what you even mean there in itself because I don't actually even see how you would get to that, let alone off the premises you gave, and especially probable. When we're talking about probable talk, I don't even see what you I don't even know what you think probable means. I mean, you probably just think it means a higher percentage of something justified. I mean,
most
I don't know what
most
type of
likely
probable talk you're talking about, but
most
I would
likely.
need some type of probable talk, like some type of justification on the
I
probable
already
talk
told you
there
why.
as well. And then when we're talking about the manga panels, at least, I mean, I agree that actually I don't even think I really have to argue on the ability. I mean, I agree he could probably reflect some type of harm to people he can
But
perceive. I mean, I don't care for that.
I sent the scan already. It says right here that the strength of an attacker's will and actions will be reverted to zero. So, I mean, dude, as I said, right, if this, I guess, qualifies for this attacker or hostile progression, right, it's going to be reverted to zero. It doesn't necessarily matter if, I guess, this character is going to be an abstract being or ontologically superior and whatnot. If it qualifies for this hostile progression, it gets reverted. As it says right here in the scan, an attacker's will and actions gets reverted to zero. I don't really see how this question bag, but yeah, you can tell me what's the question bag.
I mean, yeah, the entire point that it's a question bag is because those same words you said at the start of the debate to even define the ability. So when I'm saying, or when I at least try to clarify upon the ability being at least working across all type of fictional characters or domains, literally, it's just me saying, or it's literally just you replying to that with the statement saying that it works on hostile, like hostile whatever. And then even when we talk about this statement, I mean, this statement still is very ambiguous. It doesn't even actually prove either or of the position. I mean, unless you want to be really ratty, I don't even see like even if we were being charitable, it would literally just be an equal interpretation upon the positions there. I don't see any justification for why it means. I mean, obviously you could just keep re-saying it, but I mean that doesn't actually justify. That's just a restatement of the initial claim. I mean, you can go ahead and talk now.
I mean, I already told you why the claim. I already told you why my argument follows on why I guess all
You didn't
these.
tell me that, but okay.
I already told you. We can conclude actually. We can conclude.
You want to
We can.
conclude?
Yeah, we can
I mean,
conclude. Go to VC actually.
I mean, okay, I'll say this before we at least go to conclusions because I want a chance to respond. So, you didn't actually justify anything. I mean, you gave an argument
No,
that I don't think it seems I don't even think it seems to follow. I mean, obviously I don't see how the premises connect to the conclusion. I question that. You didn't even give an argument. You just said,
I
"Oh, it's
already.
more probable." I asked to talk on a probable talk there. You didn't even answer it. I mean,
Literally,
you
I
didn't even
talked
want to
about the
talk on a
probable.
probable talk. You didn't explain what you
When I
thought
mentioned
probable
probable
meant.
talk, I explained it.
You didn't give a stance upon what probability is. You didn't give a stance in probability. It seems like you're actually lost when we're talking about probability, and
I
you
did.
can't
I did.
actually
I said
track
most
any type
likely
of
to be the
probable
case.
talk.
I
What did
already.
you
I
say?
just. I said you probable is just going to be something that's going to be most likely the case. I already explained to you why I believe it's going to be more probable.
So let's say you tell me what probable means, right? Or at
As I
least
said,
what you think
we
probable
conclusion.
means.
I don't think
That's
this is.
exactly why I asked for a stance on
We go to conclusion.
probability, and I asked
Hello.
for more probability
We
talk. Idiot.
go to conclusions or not, bro. You can go first, and then I can go.
No, you
So,
can go first.
yeah, what the fuck? Okay, sure. I'll go first. All right, cool. So I think that I won this debate because I already explained multiple times within the start of the debate that he's failed to name a character that is going to be beating Giorno Giovanna. That was the entire point of the debate. He asked me if I was invoking anything there. All I said was that I was going to be defending Giorno's case and whether or not he wins. I mean, whether or not he doesn't lose this battle. I explained to him my argument already. I told him why it would work on all these characters that are going to be trying to attack Giorno Giovanna or defeat Giorno Giovanna within this cross-verse battle. I told him that if this qualifies for this hostile progression, it'll just be reverted to zero. Nothing will actually happen to Giorno within this battle if that's the I guess requirement for the ability. Therefore, Giorno will not lose.
And I already explained my point in the probable talk. I told him that within, I guess, the scan, he's just able to, revert this person that's able to move within the race time. I think it's like just more probable to be the case that because of the fact that he's able to do this absurd thing to this person that's able to, erase time, and I guess will qualify for this immeasurable speed. He's able to, revert this thing to zero. It's more probable to be the case that it just works on all people. And when I've sent a scan within the thing, it just says that the strength of an attacker's will and actions will be reverted to zero. There's no more adding on to that. So because of that fact, I think I won. He wasn't able to name a character. He was just saying what ifs and hypotheticals that I didn't really care for. And yeah.
I mean, I can conclude now. So, I mean, the debate started with him coming out with a statement asking, or at least telling me to pick a character. I asked what he's implying there. He implies, or he at least says he implies that Giorno does not lose any cross versus battle. He even says that he'll actually affirm that and defend that position. I mean, I don't see why I would lose because I picked a character. I mean, we obviously picked a different position instead of just character A versus character B. I mean, that's very trivial, retarded, but. And then even when we move on, he said the reason that he doesn't think Giorno loses because on top ability will reverse something back to zero. I said, okay, and he's talking about if any harmful is okay, the entire point was to say that we're talking about the set, or we're at least having talks about the set of harmful things there. I don't even see why it would, at least the set would be so great, like it would be so great that it expands through at least even not even a character I would specifically pick, but across at least somewhat or all characters. I mean, but at least when we're talking about like other things that happen within the debate, I say why. He literally just restates because it's going to be reverted back to zero. I say why again because he doesn't actually answer the question, and he brings up a panel or at least a statement saying literally just that he reverts any harmful thing, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't really know the ability how it works, but and then we literally get to the end, and I explain how it's a question bag. I give an argument for why it's a question bag, and he literally just ignores it and says, "No, that's not true. That's not true. We should go to conclusions." We go to conclusion. I mean, we're here now, and then we even we even try to get on the probable talk. I asked him for a position on probability, and he didn't. He didn't even answer that. I asked him for a position on probability that actually supports what he thinks probable means and what he thinks probability is. He didn't give that. So I mean, his probable talk wouldn't even go through. He's an idiot. I mean. And then when we go even further, like he's literally just like he can't track. I don't know what he's doing. He's terrible. I think he should quit debating. I'm not gonna lie,
Every
but
single thing you said is genuinely wrong. I explained every single thing in detail. And
Okay, okay, wait,
I mean,
wait,
yeah, you
ladies,
think
ladies,
that.
ladies,
Obviously, you think that. Obviously, you think that, bro. Nobody disagrees.
ladies,
You
kind
think
of
that.